Hi guys, and welcome back to 234 En La Casa. So I have a question for you guys. Do you love chocolate? I love chocolate. It's one of my favorite indulgences, chocolate. So today I'm going to share a dark chocolate recipe with you all that is absolutely fantastic. It is decadent. It is an indulgence. It is silky smooth. It is chewy. It's melt in your mouth. And that chocolate recipe is going to be a chocolate brownie recipe. I've been making brownies since I was a small child, and I have tried them all. And this is the ultimate brownie recipe, all from scratch. Full of flavor, full of moisture, full of chocolate, full of sweetness, full of goodness. So if you are a chocoholic or just a fan of chocolate, this is the recipe for you. So I'm going to bring you all over and show you the ingredients for the world's best brownie recipe. I kid you not. I am a fan of chocolate brownies, and this one is amongst the best. See y'all over here in a second. All right, guys, so when we start off with these, first thing that we're going to start with is 2.5 sticks of butter. We're going to melt that, and this is the butter that I'm using, okay? And you can either melt your butter on the stove or you can melt it in the microwave. It's just whatever you want to do. So this is going to be what we start off with for our brownies. And when this gets melted, you're going to pour your melted butter over all of this chocolate. And so this is going to be 8 ounces of baking bar chocolate, and this is the one that I use. It comes in a 4-ounce pack, and I use 2 of those, so those are broken inside of this bowl. And then a tablespoon of instant espresso, and this is the espresso that was used, okay? And so there's a tablespoon of that in here, and then 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. And so then, and this is the cocoa powder that was used, okay? All right, so I'll bring y'all back once this butter has melted. All right, guys, so the butter is melted, and so I'm going to bring that over. I've turned my stove off, and we're just going to pour that butter on top of all of this chocolate. And this is going to be how we will combine and melt our chocolates, is with this butter. Okay. And we're just gonna stir this together. You don't need to get like a hand mixer or anything like that. We're just gonna stir it together and get all of the chocolate and the butter combined together in a liquefied state. Okay, and so I've got this all combined together, and this is how this is gonna look, okay, guys? So now we will go over and we will get our dry ingredients, and you will need a mixer once we start with the other ingredients, the dry ingredients and the eggs and all that. You'll need a mixer for that part of it, okay? So I'm gonna bring you all over to the stand mixer. All right, guys, so you're gonna need a 9 by 13 inch pan, which I already have mine here already, ready to go in the oven. So I've got my baking spray already in here, and you'll want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I'm gonna put mine on convection, but you can either convect or just have your conventional oven going, okay? All right, so in your mixing bowl, you're gonna want to get 2 cups of granulated sugar, which I have right here. This is 2 cups, and put this in your mixing bowl. And then a 1/2 cup of light brown sugar. This is 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of salt. And to this, you're gonna also add 6 room temperature eggs, which I've already cracked and placed them in a bowl. So we're gonna get that added. And then you're gonna beat this together for 10 minutes. All right, guys, so it's been 10 minutes, and I forgot to mention you'll wanna use your paddle attachment for that 10-minute mix. And so then to this, we're gonna go ahead and add our melted chocolate and butter. And I'm going to show you what it looks like after 10 minutes. Okay, so it should still be in this liquid form. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add that to this egg and brown sugar mixture. Okay, so we've got that added, and then to that we're gonna add a cup of all-purpose flour and a half cup of cocoa powder, your baking cocoa. So I've already got that sifted together here in a cup, and you're gonna wanna sift those and then get them added to your brownie batter. Okay, and so now we're gonna combine all of this together. You're just gonna mix this on a low mixing setting, okay? Be sure not to over mix, okay guys? Okay, so I'm gonna stop my mixer so you all can see how it's coming. It's been about maybe a minute or two. It didn't take long for this to get combined together. And all I'm doing is just going underneath my paddle attachment to the base of the bowl and just making sure that I get all of that underneath there so that we can make sure that that's combined. And so I'm gonna start my mixer back on a low setting again, just for about a minute. I'm not gonna probably let it mix. It may even be more like 30 seconds. Yeah, I think it's gonna be more like 30 seconds because when I move, when I use my spatula and kind of scrape the bottom of the bowl, there's nothing down there. So it looks like everything has been combined really, really well. Because I don't want to over mix. So I'll go ahead and let it mix for about 30 more seconds on that low setting. Okay guys, so we've got our 9 by 13 inch, this is a cake pan. You can use a glass dish if you would like to. Mine is metal. And so we're gonna go ahead and get the brownie batter added to our 9 by 13 inch cake pan, okay? And my oven, like I said, it is preheated to 350 degrees. And so we're just gonna pour that batter on into the cake pan. And these already smell phenomenal. They smell really, really good. All right, and so I'm just getting this batter off of the excess batter off of the spatula. And so we're gonna place these in the oven for 20 minutes. And then I will bring you all back at that 20-minute mark, okay? All right, see y'all in a second. Okay guys, so it has been 20 minutes. You're gonna bring the brownies out of the oven and you're going to tap your brownies on your countertop or your stove 3 times. And then you're gonna place the brownies back in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'll bring y'all right back. Okay guys, so the brownies are out of the oven. I just got them out. And so I'm gonna allow them to cool here for about 15, 20, 30 minutes. So between 15 to 30 minutes, I'm gonna allow them to sit here and cool, and I'll bring you all back. Okay guys, so it's been about 20 minutes, and you can either make some chocolate frosting for your brownies, or you can you know, sprinkle some powdered sugar on them. I'm gonna go ahead and cut one for a taste test and bring you all back and show you, do the taste test and show you what the brownies look like on the inside, okay? I'll bring y'all right back. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut a brownie. That's the inside of it. Gosh, it looks really, really good. Okay, and that's a corner piece, so that's what your corner is gonna look like. Okay. All right, so I've cut the edge off, and now I'm gonna put powdered sugar on this. All right, so I've got some powdered sugar here. Got some powdered sugar on there, and there we go again. Okay, and so I'm going to do a taste test. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and taste this. These are absolutely phenomenal. There is one thing that I would do. I would not do the 2 teaspoons of salt. I would reduce that down to a teaspoon, okay? Adding the powdered sugar to the top helps to offset a little bit of the saltiness, but I still think that it needs to be reduced down to a teaspoon of salt. It's just, it's not overpowering, but I would suggest to lower it down, okay? If you are going to do a frosting on top, like a chocolate frosting on these brownies, I would still lower the salt down to a teaspoon. And the reason why I say that is, you want your sweet and salty to kind of offset each other. So, frosting is real sweet. I would still lower this down to a teaspoon of salt, even with a sweet frosting, okay? All right, guys. It's good, though. I'll show you the inside. Really good. Absolutely phenomenal. The texture is like a brownie texture. It's smooth. It's moist. It's chewy, fudgy, full of chocolate. It is really, really good. The salt is the issue. Okay. And I'll say this, if you do a chocolate frosting, like a buttercream, you may want to lower your salt to a teaspoon and a half. But if you're doing powdered sugar or just doing it plain, I would lower it to a teaspoon of salt. 2 teaspoons is too much, okay? All right, guys. Well, I will see you all back here for another episode of 234 En La Casa. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all back here later on this week. Have a great day.